Right, so we are on Friday of finishing up the first part of week 3. Sorry, second part, the Thursday of week 3. And I just graded the items that you did last night. And, make sure those of you that um, are doing this work get the most points, right? So on most, this is kind of the standard, so just get used to it. On current topics, and most of you did this, there is a reply, 2 replies that are due. So make sure you get those done. And then generally, unless I specify, it's not on the hands-on, because that's the idea, is that you're just working. And it seems like most of you got the cloning fine. So now next week, in week 4, we move on to the workflow of using version control on your local system. So the one thing I'd like to say here, and just to keep in mind, is from here on out, what you're doing is doing the flow, the workflow. So when you change and you code along and you do lecture notes, all that is done on your local system. And then you're going to end up next week learning how to do push commands to push that code up to GitHub. And then you'll still give me the link to your GitHub. That won't change. But all the work you need to do from here on out should be only done locally and then pushed to GitHub. So when we have learned in the beginning of this class how to use the web interface for doing the beginning stuff, from here on out, unless I specifically tell you, do not use the web interface, because that's part of what this course is intended to teach you. And actually I'm relying on it more this year than ever, and I think it's going really well. From that perspective, because the way I used to have to do some type of file system that I could have you share with me was a pain, and it just wasn't teaching the core concepts. Okay, so get that from now on you'll only be modifying your directory, your private, your public, and your GitHub pages from the local editor and not from the web interface, but you will be pushing this code up to the web interface. Okay, so just the other thing is on this lecture, and most of you got it, but a few of you missed this. It was really important that you created a folder for the HTML, and then inside of that folder had an image folder, and we created 2 files here coding along. And the reason is that this coming week we'll have a CSS one. And so inside the CSS you'll have an index and a CSS directory. Okay, so that's why that's important, is to create the folders as I show them. That way because your files are going to get a little disoriented and disorganized as you move forward with this. Okay, so the other thing is we are moving into really coming up into the halfway point of this class. So make sure, right, if you're getting a little behind, you catch up as soon as possible. And I do allow you to submit late work. It's discounted 25%, but it's better than no points at all. So week 4 is already set up for you and ready to go. Hopefully you're getting used to the way this is, which is watching the video and doing the work. Next week, and I talk about this in the video, but it's worth repeating, is I do change the order purposely here so that you learn the workflow, and then you use that workflow to code along the lecture. So for the next couple weeks we'll be doing code along, really reinforcing this idea of learning the workflow for Git. Okay, so my job this weekend is actually to start looking at week 5. My hope is that by maybe today, but for sure tomorrow, meaning Saturday, before, I try to stay a week ahead of you if I can, and I try to. But we're going to be doing Bootstrap. So now that we've done some basic HTML, CSS, now we'll do some Bootstrap. We'll add that into your GitHub page. We'll do a different topic, semantic versioning, something most people, once they hear it, go, oh yeah, I understand it, but not maybe understanding it at this level. It's such an important thing. And then we're going to do add a git ignore, and then review. As I'd already told you, I put out the requirements just so you could take a look at that. So that's my project for the weekend, is to create videos for that. And then because it is a campus holiday on Monday, I always move items from Monday to Tuesday, but just know that the items for Thursday don't change. So, and I actually should say Tuesday here. Matter of fact, maybe I'll just do this while you're here with me so that you and I can both be clear that those are now on Tuesday because Monday's a holiday, Labor Day. Okay, so I hope you enjoy the work this week. Again, continuing, to cover topics and to give you some more of that hands-on experience. So have a great weekend if you get to enjoy it. If you're behind and you have an opportunity to get caught up, because again, every week that goes by, it's like 2 weeks in a regular semester. All right, have a good one. Talk to you later.